Good evening, everyone. Today I will be presenting about ratios by Fina Tahita. My new name is Kali Seeley, class Algebra 1, teachers Baba Mugagwa and Mama Serafina, school Io Education Institute, year 2022 to 2023. These are the discussion points that I'll be talking about, why I chose to present about ratios today, the ratios and origin of it, some examples on how ratios is used in our everyday lives, and why it's important. Why I chose to present about ratios. I chose to present about ratios because I love doing ratios in math. Doesn't mean I love algebra and math though. I found easier ways to solve and understand ratios so I can be better at it. Today I'll be talking about ratios and the origin of it. The Gordon ratio. The Gordon ratio refers to the mathematical expression of 1, pi, where pi is an irrational number, roughly 1.618 point. Visually, this ratio can be represented as a golden triangle, with the ratio of side A to side B, the same as the ratio of the side A plus B to A. This ratio is called golden or divine because it's visually pleasing, and some scholars argue that the human eye can more readily interpret the images that incorporate it. For these reasons, you see the Gordon ratio, rectangle, and spiral incorporated in the design of public spaces and emulated in the artwork in museum halls and hanging on the gallery walls. It is also reflected in nature, architecture, and design. It forms a key component of modern Swiss design. Picture right here, right? The Swiss design of the Gordon ratio spiral. If it's not from ancient Greeks, where then did the golden rectangle originate? In Africa, designs practices tend to focus on bottom-up growth and organic factual forms. They are created in a sort of feedback loop, what computer scientists call recursion. You start with a basic shape and then divide it into a smaller version of itself, so that the subdivisions are embedded in the original shape. What merges is called a self-similar pattern, because the whole can be found in the parts. Consider the palace of Chief Ungrini, Cameroon, which is pictured here on the left side. Its rooms are laid out using a fractal grid characterized by the repetition of the similar shapes at ever-diminishing scales. As Ron Anglish notes in African Fractals, the path that a palace visitor would take to navigate the space are approximately a golden spiral. Some examples on how ratios is used in everyday lives. Schools. Ratios will be used in schools to take attendance. For example, in my class for Algebra 1, there are 3 boys and 5 girls, which equals to 8 students. This ratio will be represented as a part to whole, 8 to 5, or part to part, 3 to 5. And then there's 3 ways you can represent ratios. Using a semicolon, using the word 2, right here, symbol, TO, or as a fraction. Animals. Ratios can be used in animals. For example, in my family, I have 2 dogs and 3 cats, which equals to 5 pets. This ratio will be represented as part to part, 2 to 3, whole to part, 5 to 3. Shopping. Ratios can be used in shopping when you're buying things. For example, I need 5 cans of beans and 4 bags of jelly beans, which equals to 9 bags of beans. This ratio will be represented as 4 to 5, part to part, 5 to 9, whole to part. My resources, my conclusion. This is important because we see and use it in our everyday lives, whether it can be in school in the form of teacher to student ratio. We also use it in jobs too, when how many patients to doctors it is. And also in school, how many teachers to student there is. What I want you to take away from this is seeing and learning the origin of ratio. That is still evident. Thank you for watching and learning.